Afternoon feed time, and Billy, as usual, is pulling faces at me. Anyway, I better get organised.
I always enjoy watching the horse communication go on between Billy and Bella. Neither one of them are subtle when it comes to what they want, and about trying to share or not share with each other. It's a regular battle that goes on. If you've been watching our channel for a little while, you'll see that these two always end up having some kind of minor confrontation, and that usually only ever happens when one's invading the other one's space at dinner time. As you can see, Bella wants to stand in Billy's spot, and Billy's very unhappy about it, but she at this point has decided that she's not going to give in, and it's always a little bit on the humorous side, but it's just all part of daily life.
All right, Bella, over here. Come on, honey. All right, buddy boy. Go and fill up those hay nets now.
So if you're wondering what I feed the horses, their diet mainly consists of lucerne chaff. For those of you who are in America, that's alfalfa, and mixed in with their lucerne chaff is vitamins. So they get brewer's yeast in the morning, they get flaxseed oil in the afternoon mixed in, and they get hay access 24/7 through the hay nets, and also they're on a little bit of green grass at the moment. I've always tried, even over the summer, even if my paddocks are dry, they'll still get to eat a little bit of green grass, which is mainly kikuyu, off my lawns, and that's in moderation because you always have to be careful with a syndrome called big head. But fortunately, neither horse have ever had any real issues from eating the kikuyu grass. I also use natural herbs, depending on what's going on with the horses. If they are looking a little bit uptight, or I'm a bit worried about stomach upsets, or just general hormonal issues with Bella, I will add in chamomile tea into their afternoon feed, or whenever I think it's necessary. So that doesn't happen on a daily basis, but on occasion, if I think there's something going on, I'll add that in. And also peppermint tea on occasion, not often. Again, it's just always, I'm very mindful about the horse's gut health, And I tend to monitor that very carefully because when we first got Bill, he was absolutely full of ulcers internally from starvation, and it took quite some time to get his gut back into balance. The other thing I do quite often is I'll make up a bit of a soupy chamomile tea mix, and within that I'll put carrot pieces and then put it into their bowl so that they have to wash around the chamomile tea into their mouth while they try and grab those carrot bits. Now, I do this because it's great to just get anything that's excess around their teeth out, because carrots work as a bit of a natural toothbrush. And the chamomile tea is really good for their gums. It works against gingivitis or gingivitis, however you want to say the word. And because the horses are on oat and hay, and I don't have access to any other kind of hay at the moment, I have to really be careful about the sugar content. It's just maintenance issues that we all have to take care of to maintain optimum health in our horses, and that means just daily things like teeth and gums, just general care really. And if you're a new horse owner and or you haven't been around horses for that long, and you're still wanting to learn about these things, ask questions. Now, I'm not an expert, but I can usually answer a fair few questions. I will add also, when you're feeding your horses carrots, and cut them up into little pieces, small enough so that they can't choke on carrot pieces. We've had a couple of instances where Billy's tried to swallow down carrot pieces when Kel's been feeding them treats, and because he's in the spirit of competition and wants to get more, instead of chewing it properly, he's had them get stuck in his throat, and I've had to call out the vet to get it cleared out. And it's very horrible watching your horse going through a bout of choke, so be super careful and make sure those pieces are small enough so that they can't choke on them. Symptoms of choke, you'll quite often see your horse keep stretching its neck out. With Bill, he'll lift his head up and keep turning it to the side, trying to shift whatever it is he's got stuck in there. You can see them, they quite often will have discharge coming out of their nose. If they'll try and cough and get it out, they will just drinking, you'll see water coming out, and they become increasingly distressed. So if you see any signs of choke, do not feed your horse anything. You can, sometimes let them have a little bit of water, but ultimately you want to see if they can pass whatever it is that they've got in their throat. You can try massaging very gently down their throat, from the top of their neck, around their jugular, but you must be very gentle when doing that and massage it down. But if it's a piece of carrot, it isn't going to dissolve. Difference is carrot can dissolve, apple can dissolve a little bit, but unlikely for carrot. So if a carrot or something firm or a build-up of grain or something gets stuck in there, you're going to have to get the vet out. And what the vet will do is come out and stick a pipe down the horse's nose and try and shift whatever it is that's in there. And they'll do that until they've dislodged. And it's uncomfortable for the horse. It doesn't really hurt them because they're generally sedated, but you don't want to have to go through that cost and go through the fright. So be very careful with carrots. So Bill's thieving, I'll show you.
As usual, Bill's thieving, not because he doesn't have enough, but because he feels the need to thieve. It's part of his hang-ups. So he's got plenty of hay over here. There's 2 hay nets, absolutely loaded to capacity. He's just had his afternoon dinner, but he has this sense of entitlement, which means that anything the sheep have, he has to have too. Bad boy Billy, what are you doing? Yes, you naughty boy. Honestly. Oh, my fatty girl is finishing off Billy's dinner because he wasn't really that hungry. So the whole thieving business over the sheep's food is not because he's hungry, it's because he's naughty. Fatty girl's going back to her dinner, which is the hay. As you can see, the bag's massive. Fatty girl's drank all the soup because she loves it. I'll get through here. Anyway, another day has passed in the life of Roz and Kel, Bella and Billy. And I hope you're enjoying our channel. I know it's not the most exciting, but what you're seeing is reality. And I want people to see that, you know, this is life in Australia. This is our daily life. This is the trials and the tribulations, the ups and the downs, the good and the funny. This is Australia, people, and welcome. If you've not been to our channel, welcome. Thing off, Miss Kitty. Another day is finished. Well, my job's finished outside at least for the day. I might whip over and have a look at my lawn because I'm obsessed with lawn, or grass I should say, growing. So I think before I go inside I'm going to go and check heading round to have a look at the roundtip pen to see how the grass seed is growing. We haven't had a lot of rain, it's been really cold, but the grass still seems to be growing a little bit there. I seeded it pretty heavily with a mixture of fescue and different varieties of grass. Some were suited to the winter, some to the summer. But look, it seems to be happening, which is really good. It's making some progress, and if you look back at some of the earlier videos a month ago, this was just solid dirt or clay. So I'm pleased. It means that the grass is actually growing. The horses are locked out of this paddock at the moment, and I've got my bales of hay here as well, so I don't want them in there getting to that too early, because with drought conditions there's no crops this year, and we'll be lucky if the farmers manage to get a crop, and if they do, I should say, the cost of hay is probably going to go through the roof. So I really need this paddock to grow and really be nice and lush for the horses, so that we can get through for as long as we possibly can, because tough times ahead, people. Hopefully tomorrow's video will be more about horse care, especially for those who are just new into horses, or you've just got your first horse, or you're inexperienced and you're unsure about what to do and how to do it. I'm going to, if I get time, try and add in more about horse care for those who really are enjoying the channel, want to learn a little bit more. I've had horses on and off most of my life. You know, I've had periods of time where I haven't had horses, but I've always been involved with animals and you know, caring for animals one way or another. So I've got a lot of farm knowledge and basic farm knowledge. With horses I've got more advanced knowledge. A lot of it's like riding a bike. You just do things because you know automatically what to do after years and years of being around horses. You know when it's an emergency, know when it's something that you can handle yourself. But you know, look, these are the sort of tips I think I'll try and give along the way to help those people and genuinely just get to know our horses, Billy and Bella, and their individuality and what life is like in Australia. Thanks for watching.